Hey folks, this is Lucid and welcome back. We are back in our game with Late Age Rlyeh, and this time I have a twofer. That is right, a 2-for-1, 2 turns in 1 episode. So it's turn 16, and I've got 17 served up after this. And what better way could there possibly be to start off a turn with dirty underwater squids other than finding a kelp fortress? Now, was this lucky? Yes. But getting it on turn 16 is a lot different than getting it on... If I got one of these... I started site searching pretty early with nature. If I got one of these like turn 4 or 5, oh my god. Would have been amazing. But we will take this. I don't think I've really ever gotten a kelp fortress early when I was playing Underwater Nation. And I've tried pretty... Like, this is pretty standard for me to look for nature early. So, and I feel like the only times I've gotten it, I already had a palisade in construction. So, anyway. Feels very good. It's another nature income. Guys, our nature income on turn 16 is 8. It is ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. What this is also going to mean, I was thinking about like, what are we going to use these for? We're going to make thistle maces or get thistle maces. And we are going to spam harder specs everywhere. We're going to have so much nature income, it's going to be gross. Actually, gross. So that happened. We're going to go watch the battle. If you recall, last episode, we had a little bounceroo with Oceania finally decided to take their cap circle province, turn 15. I thought they were just never going to take it, so I was like, I guess we'll take it. Anyway, I told him that he was going to take this with just the scout. This is a Rlyeh and scout, but this Rlyeh and scout was insane, and the Rlyeh player told me they were going to attack my province. So I told Oceania there's going to be a scout attacking my province, so better not to send a scout of his own, better to send something like a small force. Well, he sends bitch tits. Yeah, she'll be a little annoying to kill. Honestly, if we get Thaumaturgy 5, she's pretty hosed. Here is a Balba attacks this, I guess, to see what's here. It's a night province. Night provinces are kind of tough for bats. And then we come in right behind him with our god being a huge badass. And yoink. Bet these knights are really hard to kill. Yoink, yoink. Yes. Just like so. Just like so. And then over here, yeah, we don't really lose much of anything important. And then over here, we don't lose much of anything important. I guess we'll watch this one. There's these slave guardians, guys. They're really good. That's like my #1 learning preparing for this is how good slave guardians are. I think before when I tried to use Rlyeh, I tried like expanding with Meteorite Guard. Meteorite Guard are so much slower to expand underwater. And the Atlanteans that don't have as much protection, these guys, 9 gold, they're cheap. Oh my god, do I prefer the Slave Guardians. These guys hit for 20 damage, these guys hit for 18, 10 attack, 9 defense, and these guys are 11 attack, 10 defense, 11 protection, and these guys have a little bit more, but they also have more HP. That 3 HP ends up mattering a fair amount. I don't know, I just find in practice, these guys do so much better. So much better. Yeah, and we take this province too. And we take this province too. So, I mean, guys, it's turn 16. And we had one... Well, we lost one province. Because I need to talk about the Diplo for this. So, the Oceania player was a little upset that we bumped. And he's like, I thought you said I could have this. There shouldn't have been a bump here. And I was like, yeah, dude, but... Like, I saw you hadn't taken other stuff, and it's turn 14, and there's an independent flag there. Like, I was always going to let you have it, but I don't know. I want the income from it. In the meantime, you can't just take it forever. Like, wait for forever. Anyway, he was fine with it. I think he was annoyed, as I think anybody would be. But also, you do need to take your provinces. Like, they are guaranteed to you, but you can't, like, oh, it's turn 2. You know, it's like year 2. I haven't taken the provinces. Yeah, okay. I mean, that's not gonna work like that most of the time. Anyway, he basically was like, okay, fine, I'll take it back. He's gonna go get this stuff. He's still probably gonna be my first war target, but we're gonna be nice for now. I was thinking about it too. When do we attack them? We could maybe kill them now. There's things that would be good. I would like for other players, especially underwater players, to become more involved in their first wars before I attack. That'd be nice. Number two, like especially early age Rlyeh. Number two, I would like to finish and not necessarily finish expansion. I would like to have it, all the major choke points that I think I'm going to need to defend, have a sizable, not huge, it's early game still, or like early mid game, but have an army, right? So like what's left of my expansion force near a fort, so I have some mages, that sort of thing. So what would that mean in practice? It would mean I have an army down here. I mean, maybe I have a small army over here, like near a fort I have. And then it would mean definitely, this is probably the primary place I have to defend is the jellyfish. So I have a big ass army up here. And then, yeah, but I think have an army to defend here, basically an army to defend against Rlyeh, have an army to defend the jellyfish, or 2 armies to defend Rlyeh, an army to defend the jellyfish, and have a force down here on this southern, which I'll have anyway from expansion, right? But have, excuse me, something on the southwest side of Valanus to defend, potentially, I'm guessing, against early age Atlantis waltzing up through here. So that's all happening. This fort finished. So let's talk forts real quick. This one's getting upgraded. We're making meteorites and illithids are still going to be good for a while. We will turn off illithid production after a bit, but we're probably going to be making meteorites most of the game. So we've got these forts. All the forts we have are making units, because units are very good in a slow research game. This one, I think I might have been able to... No, I needed a few more resources to squeeze another one out. This is the new fort we got. So no lab yet. We're building a lab, but yeah, we're getting another illithid lord here because those are really nice. We're gonna need a lot of those. And over here, yeah, we're doing these things. So basically all the forts we have are making a boatload of meteorite guard. We're probably getting 20-ish a turn, which is a lot, though it's spread out. One thing to think about, I am not really so much one kingdom as several. It takes literally forever to get something from here to here, even using starways and stuff. Like, it's very slow. So what does that mean? It means until like I have magic phase movement like Gateway, I'm gonna need to have kind of local defenses everywhere. The exception to that, of course, is my god, who is a huge badass. And speaking of my god, I was gonna send him down here, and then I was talking with my buddy who's watching over my shoulder play this, and he was like, dude, the baller move would be to send them down here. It would be. It would be. The worry doing this would maybe be a little too aggressive and antagonize, and I don't know how much I want to do that. Like, I think I want to do it just to have this throne. But if this is a crappy throne, I don't know I care. So we're going to come here. We're going to see what's in the throne at least. Then I'll decide if I take the south part of Fall of Sorrow. Because this part of Fall of Sorrow will guarantee nobody can come into this part of the... Aquatically. Amphibious nations could move in. But... that is that. Yeah. And we're just going to go hog wild. People are starting to notice that there is a major, major squid infestation. And they're not very happy. But what are we going to do? This was our plan. We're going to execute it. The thing is, it's very hard to execute a war against a larger power through choke points, even as part of a coalition. Because I can concentrate defense in a few places... they won't be able to break through. And I can do it in a few places versus a lot of players and be fine. But if I start getting raided, like these land nations attacking me underwater, that would be annoying. So we'll see. But that's unlikely. All these players have other things they need to do, like go win their first war rather than pissing off their extremely friendly underwater neighbor. I'm offering naps to any land nation that wants them, not because I'm worried about coastal raiding, just because I'm trying to be nice. I want them to be happy with me protecting their coast. And I can probably play for 50 turns without really attacking land neighbors. I may vulture a little bit, But I probably don't need to attack very much. So I think we're going to do that. Any events? Got a gold event. Thaumaturgy rituals are cheaper. Too bad we don't have thaumaturgy researched. Though we're going for it. Thaume 3, extremely badass because it gives me Power of the Void, which is completely broken. Completely broken. Yeah, things are looking pretty good. I haven't gotten any water or astral income yet, I don't think. Or maybe I've gotten... No, I've gotten like 1 or 2 water. Because we found... I don't know if I've shown you all these. Like, this site was just here. Thanks, game. There's another site which we found here, which I think might give it to me. Yeah, this one. Yeah, I got a water thing from this one too. So we found a couple water. Ooh, game. All right, so that's turn 16. I'll go to my current turn. Look at all these slackers. 14 hours left and they haven't done their turn. Shame. Here's what we got. So first thing, you remember last turn we had Celt Fortress. This turn, members of a blasphemous cult have erected a basalt statue. They worship at its webbed feet, chanting unnatural hymns in praise of the alien god. Oh yes, we got the basalt statue. 2 earth, which is phenomenal. That gets me up, I think, to 5 earth income, which is huge. So take everything you know about how important earth gems are for any nation or for like early age Rlyeh, and add to it the fact that I get this really cool little item called the Elder Sign, which is an earth 5 item, or 3 if you have a hammer, and it gives you Void Sanity, which is really nice to put on important slave mages so they're not going bonkers. The way Void Sanity works, and I doubt it will be in the tag, so it'd be too close. What does say it? So you're less likely to go insane, like to gain insanity. So you can sit in Rlyeh and Dominion, and I believe you're less likely to get Void Sanity. In addition, and there's a bunch of other like Rlyeh specific stuff that will interact with Void Sanity too, not just the Dominion, you know, like going into the Void Gate and stuff like that. I'm not going to talk about that. The other part, though, is it's going to take, like, let's say you're insane 50. That means 50% of turns you're going to do some random action. This will divide that percent by this number. So 50 divided by 5 is going to be 10. And you're basically going to have an effective insanity of 10% instead of 50%, which is pretty good. Now you might say, well, why would we, you know, like what are the useful, like when is that useful? And the answer is there's a few places. One is our cultists who we've started getting now. These guys, they're a little insane to start with, but they're going to get more insane. Well, okay. Yeah, if they're sitting in high dominion, they're going to get pretty insane. And like, here, we've got our prophet. We're going to be preaching up the dominion here. We're going to have high candles. Whichever cultist I have starting to do temple training is going to be doing a lot of insane action. So those, it could be kind of worth it to go ahead and put elder signs on. The other case where it may be worth it is people that are going into the Void Gate. Because higher Void Sanity means it's less likely you get sent to the Void, and less likely you become feeble-minded or insane. Maybe not the feeble-minded part, but definitely less likely you become insane. So that's a thing. And the other thing is I'm going to have a lot of profits. The thing is people are going to go crazy. The more crazy they get, this guy's only 10 right now. But as they sit in my dominion, they're going to get higher levels of insanity. And a lot of times, like the more insane you are, the more likely you are to go become a prophet. Once people become a prophet, they may very well make sense. Let's say they get up to like insanity 45 or something. And so they get up to insanity 45, they become a prophet. Well, they're not a very useful prophet because they're going to be spending half their time being insane. So the question is, would you spend like, so let's say the elder sign is 3 gems and it's going to double the effectiveness of a prophet. Would you spend 6 gems to get a Holy 3 unit? And I think most people would say the answer is yes. So this is basically a way to print prophets, like Holy 3 dudes, with my Earth gems. Now, I believe the Elder Sign is a construction 4 item that we'll have to see. What is here? Mad one. So, yeah, the Earth Income is super clutch. Super duper clutch. This guy, we're going to go ahead and send him on the long journey down here. And we're getting 2... we probably should do battles, and I'll come back, because I can talk. Here we kill some Shamblers. Here we kill some Tritons. Here we kill Turtle Tribe, and this is now on Fall of Sarl. And we're going to take a look after this and see what is in that throne. Got resist magic script in case I bump into some Mind Blasters somehow. I mean, guys, he is an absolute beast. Actually cooler than Mr. Hands. And we took these Shamblers out too. And there's this thing, we also got plus 10 income, very nice. And we got an Imp Familiar, which of course we have immediately installed on one of our dudes. Okay, so our god down here. This is a very spicy throne. I think this is a level 3 throne, which means I'm probably going to fight over it. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and ping it with this guy. There's a Mind Lord here. So I don't know how I'm going to take it. I don't know. One option is like get my Dominion in here so my Pretender will have a lot of MR. I mean, he's going to be 27 MR, but I don't think 27 MR... I don't know if I want to take those odds against this. I could do it when my expansion force comes down, have my god jump in with them. And because he's so killy, I feel pretty comfortable with sending him in with the army, because basically he'll be killing stuff so fast and cause fear and all this other jazz that I think he'll be okay. So that might be my plan, but I do need to cut off this entryway in. Interestingly, I believe that's the Hinnom flag. Yeah, that's the Hinnom flag. So Hinnom appears to be over here. This is their capital. They apparently have done horrible expanding, because this is their capital, and they basically have 2 ways they can go. They can go up here into these barbs, and then come down here. Middle Abyssia is over here, and yeah, they appear to have done probably a better job. I don't know. We won't really be able to tell, but I mean, I guess Hinnom could push for this. If Hinnom's over here, it might be okay, but I don't know. It doesn't look like they're gaining a lot of ground. Anyway, none of these are really amphibious nations, so we will happily set up shop in the pond, and there's still independence right here, which means nobody's moved here, which means nobody's come here. What I'm kind of expecting to do, though, is we're going to send my god here to take this throne, because we did ping it. And there's 2 Hydromancers in this throne. And the Hydromancers have a few annoying things they could do. They can make water elementals, which would kind of suck. And they can also do encase in ice, which would kind of suck. They do, because we don't have improved casting AI on in this game, if we had improved casting AI, I probably wouldn't be able to send my god, because they would make water elementals. But without it, they're like, oh my god, we could cast buffs. And so they're going to do like water, whatchamacallit. They're going to do, I can't remember the name of the spell. Water Ward or whatever that gives everybody 4 defense. Bunch of stuff that's not going to matter instead of making water elementals. So we should be okay. We're going to send them in. Worst case, we have a retreat route. And we're going to stealth in with him a scout, so that the scout can immediately start construction of a fort. This is going to be really important fort. We're going to be able to make a boatload of meteorite guard, hopefully. And we don't know how much pop is here, but hopefully it's a pretty high population province. These guys are going to beeline up here. We're going to skip some of this. We're going to come backfill this stuff with some of these guys that we're making. They're going to wander over here and finish this stuff off, which should be pretty easy for a few meteorite guard. Yes, that's the plan. Over on this front. Here, we've got this squad, which I think this was the group that came all the way from my capital, actually. They've really been traveling around the world. They're going to come over here, then they're going to come down here, then they're going to come here, and then they're going to be the ones to run over this way. But if we time it out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it'll be 5 turns till they get here. These guys are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. They're gonna actually get here first. It kind of feels bad, man, but this is the group that will probably come over here and take this throne, so that's probably fine. Probably fine. It could be argued I should maybe split this and send them up this way. That may actually be a better idea. Yeah, maybe I split this. And this would be enough. I could, yeah, we're gonna do that, guys. See, this is why it's good when I talk with y'all. Have better ideas. So these guys are gonna be up front, holding attack closest. These guys are just gonna be an HP sink at the back. These guys are a lot faster. Holding attack closest. This guy's just gonna get the backfire. Yeah, something like this. And then we're gonna go hit these. I think that's okay. I think that's okay. And then these guys are gonna come over here. Yeah, this is with the Mind Blasters. Though I don't know how much I really want the Mind Blasters in there with, like, taking this out. That's probably okay. That's probably okay. These guys are going to come over here. There's a decent chance we have to fight Atlantis. Though I'm remembering now, it's actually really funny. This Atlantis player was in Biggest, which was the last of these Bosmos kind of games we had. And he spawned here last time. He was late age Rlyeh, so he was playing the nation I'm playing now. And he was very not aggressive. He was playing like the opposite of how I'm playing. Not aggressive in terms of expansion. He was actually playing the literal exact opposite. He never came over here to take this stuff. Was very passive in terms of expansion. Didn't expand too far. But tried to piss his neighbors off. Aside from that, I mean, I was over here in England. I was terrified he was going to come over here and take all this stuff. And I was having all sorts of like internal conflicts. Do I attack him if he does? Do I not? And depending on, and I oscillated at different times in the game whether I would or wouldn't, depending how easily I thought I could fight him. In some ways, my god was mindless and pretty good against him, but other ways would have been painful. So anyway, he spawned in the exact same start location. Oh, the other part I was going to say was he put temples up everywhere, unforted temples, had cultists, who were the stealthy dudes, running around preaching in enemy lands. Basically just pissed off. This Midgard player here was playing Vanheim, and he started in Scandinavia. And he had conquered Arco, who was over here at the very beginning of the game. And so he was pretty big, and he was not happy with them doing this. And so he gets a bunch of goblets of the Sea King and marches a huge elf army underwater and caps him and kills him. This is pretty late in the game. He played very passively. And I think if that is his style, so he played passively and pissed off his neighbors, whereas my approach this game is the opposite. Expand extremely aggressively and be extremely friendly with your neighbors. Anybody that wants a nap can get one from me, basically. We're not fighting anybody yet, and we probably won't fight anybody for a long time. But yeah, if he is not very aggressive, there's a very decent chance, the more I think about it, the more I talk through this, he's not going to contest this. So we're probably going to claim this. We're going to take this throne with my god. Then, if he has taken this, that means next turn he's going to move here. If he hasn't taken this, we're going to continue to site search. The turn he takes this, though, I'm going to make sure I've seized this province, and so that will be a thing. And then we'll have this encircled, and basically things will be wonderful. Things will be absolutely dandy. The other thing, this is a very high income province, so that's also very nice. Yeah, so that is the stuff happening on the god front. These guys running down. Oh yeah, new forts we need to make. So I've got a fort coming up over here. It's got 5 months left. I think I started it this turn. And I want to have it so that if I need to conduct a war with Krieg or something down here, which I probably will need to help with, and I need to go ahead and get it built and start making troops. And if a war starts at turn 25, this will be like just in time to have some troops made, and you know, I can like raid some caves or something here. Though, oh my god, that many flaming overseas. These guys explode on death. Seems horrible. The other thing, okay, well, let's finish talking about this fort. This fort's going up. One problem is I need to get a mage over here. And until I have teleport, getting mages to forts is going to be a pain in the ass. Zigu here is diseased, and he's only 2 HP left. I was going to site search with him, and this would be the last move he would get to take, because next turn he would site search, and then next turn he could not do anything. He would die. What we're going to do is we're going to move him over here. Now, there's probably a chance he dies. I can't remember if you can go from 2 to 1 with a normal human-sized mage in one turn. I think there's a shot. I don't know. But anyway, he's going to come over here. And I think he will have 1 turn left. And that turn we'll use to build a lab. And that will save me like 6 mage turns of moving somebody out from over here. But it's going to cost me finding the awesome site he would have found right here. But we'll live with that. Yeah. So fort coming up here. This holy dude has been site searching. We're looking for an ancient temple, which apparently is likely to exist from this event, which means it must be here now. Which are a little annoying. And yeah, we're going to come build a lab over here. Okay, so that's the what's happening over here. Here for forts, we've got a fort coming up here. This one's pretty close. Well, not pretty close. We started it last turn. It's four turns left. And yeah, so that's going to be happening. I'll send a mage here and not terribly long. I need to think how many turns it's going to take to get a mage there. 1, 2, 3. It's actually time to send one right now. Damn. Let me make sure that's the fastest way to do it. I'm going to send them and see if it's doing any weird orders. No, it's going to go boom, boom. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and send one. Oh, we got a water. I got another slave mage. We're going to keep getting slave mages here till I get another nature one. Okay, so this guy we are going to send down here. By the time that fort is 1 turn away from being done, it should arrive. And that will be good. That will be very good. So we're going to have one, right now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 forts. We have a 7th coming up here. We have an 8th coming up here. And you would think that would be enough. We're actually going to need more. We're going to build a 9th on this throne. That will probably be the next fort we build. And then the next fort will probably be right here on the basalt statue. And I'm not sure what we're going to... There's some obvious things we can use it for, like Void Specters are a top-end, top-shelf, tippy-top shelf summon. An Astral 4. Getting one for 20 gems would be horrific. Absolutely horrific. So that will be one thing. Void Incursion. This gives you a bunch of void beings. I don't think that's worth it, necessarily. I don't know. There's a bunch of things. I don't know. I'm sure we can figure out stuff to do. But yeah, it would be super nice to have. I mean, all the well, that's not true. There's a lot of the summons we won't be able to get underwater because they're not amphibious. But some of them are. Like Wraith Lords are. We can cast that underwater. You know, we can later in the game we'll probably pull up the Mod Inspector and just look at what are all of the conjuration spells which can be cast on. I also went and made a spreadsheet which looked at, like, let me show you my research graph, guys. No research, no research. All of a sudden, a little bit of research. I think here, and then here we got some. I mean, guys, it's going to go like, well, whoops, clicked off the thing. It's going to go straight. We're getting basically, like, we've been hovering at like 10 research or something for a while because my majors have been off doing stuff. We're going to be adding 40 to 50 a turn from here on out. So it's going to start, like, I mean, it's going to go crazy. Like, next turn it's going to be 50% more. Sorry. Got allergies right now. Yeah, it's going to start going crazy. I mean, we're already twice what we were last turn. So I think if you look at it, this was 50, right? This was like 10, 50, and the next turn it's going to be like 90. Sorry, I keep clicking off the screen. So yeah, our research is about to start going gangbusters, which is nice because we're behind the curve. We're going to hit Dom 3 pretty fast. I've done a spreadsheet where I calculated out if we grow our research rate at a certain amount, when will we hit certain targets. Actually, I can pull it up for us. All right, so here it is. And this just took me like 2 or 3 minutes to make. So basically, you can see we start at 0, we get 50 new RP every turn. At some point, we'll start getting 60. Well, actually, we might go up a bit more than this. The thing is, we're also going to be getting like remote site searching spells. And when those come online, I'm going to devote a lot of mage turns to doing that. Here is how much RP per turn we're going to be at. So we're kind of like right here, right? And so we'll probably have Thumb 3 only in like 3 or 4 more turns. It's going to be pretty quick. I think 4 turns we'll have Thumb 3, because I think that's basically what is required of us. After that, it's going to be like 6 more turns until we get Conjuration 5. This is going to mean teleporting water elemental summoners from my cap. It's also going to mean Voice of Tiamat. And then Thumb 5 is going to mean we can start opening, basically we can start sacrificing free spawn to get pearls. It's also going to mean a few more things. I also really want Enchantment 5, so I can do Ritual of Returning. But we'll have to, you know, these things will be very fluid in terms of what we do. But that's the rough lay of the land. So anyway, yeah, we're moving on research, and you know, we'll adjust this around. Like if I empower my god, we'll pick up Water 2, Alteration 2 for Quicken, Stealth, and Ice Shield. Yeah, we will adjust as we go. We will adjust as we go. The other thing I wanted to talk about, and this will probably be the last thing we talk about for this turn, is our little cultist factory. So I kind of made a little bit of a whoopsie by building a lab here, because we probably don't need it. That's probably like minus 500 gold. I think it's going to be making cultists all the time. Now, let's talk about them. 20% are astral. Now, what does that mean? It means if I'm making 2 a turn, they're also very cheap. They're only 35 gold in Turmoil 3. So, or 35 gold. I don't know what I said. But very cheap, so I can make, like, it's basically the same cost to make Star Children. Well, yeah, it's a little bit cheaper to make a Star Child than it is to make 2 of these guys. Star Child are going to make 10 RP a turn. These guys, when they're in Astral Random, I can't remember how much they research. They may be about the same as a Star Child. I can't remember. But basically, about half of the time I make 2 dudes, and one of them is going to be, you know, it's 2 out of 5. So about half the time, we're going to get a researcher. And then in addition, we're going to get a ton of these dudes. So what are they going to do? We're making a boatload of these Rings of Water Breathing. It'd be great if I had a hammer for. I really need to get some hammers. That's the other thing I might try to trade for. I would totally spend 20 Earth Gems to get a hammer right now. Actually, people are going to have it because it's Construction 2. I need to go ask around. I might be able to trade for one already. So I'm going to do that actually right after I stop recording this. Because yeah, I would totally spend a fair amount of Earth for a hammer. It'll make me spamming out these Rings of Water Breathing, which I'm doing right now, a good bit cheaper. And yeah, basically, what are they going to do? Well, I think I'm going to have them preach up my lands, make sure everything is at... They can only preach to Holy 2, so make sure I have 2 candles everywhere. And that actually should be pretty stable. 2 candles, even 3 candles, which I'm going to have shortly if I don't have already. Yeah, my Dom Strength is about to kick up once I get a couple more temples built. But even 3 candles, it's only going to be 3 unrest a turn in places without a fort. You also get unrest reduction from candles, so having 10 PD plus, I think a couple like 3 candles, I think will be pretty stable. I think that'll be fine. So they're going to run around, preach everything up, so I'm starting to get free spawn. And the free spawn, we don't have to spend it right now. We can just bank it all up, put it in our capital, and we can spend it later. We also may make a pit stop, speaking of research, back to Construction 4, which will spend our free spawn, like our Madmen. It'll turn Madmen into Void Critters, which we're definitely going to want to do, but we may not be able to do that quite yet. But yeah, these guys I think are going to be mostly responsible for spreading my dominion. Some of them will come out in research. And we're also going to be shuffling them off as this guy is headed over this way. He's going to come here through this port. He's going to come sneak down here into Ulm. If he gets caught... Oh, god damn it. He's got raptors. You know what? I think he's got raptors. I think it's going to be better... No, we're going to go through the port. If he's patrolling with the raptors... I mean, there's a decent chance. Oh, wait, how are they... He's actually recruiting them? Ah, shit. I don't actually want to go through this port with flying units. That was like the one thing. Because I don't think we can make it out in time before the flyers are going to hit us. I might ask him, just be like, hey, dude, if you're patrolling, can you do hold and attack so that if I have a dude get caught, you don't kill him? We'll see. He's a nice guy. He'll probably be agreeable to that. I need to send him a note. So anyway, I need to do that. But yeah, these guys, we're going to be pumping them out. They're going to be going to our temples and doing summoning void critters. And then we're going to be spreading our dominion everywhere. Not a ton, just getting up to like 2 or 3 candles. Because there's going to be blood sacking pressure coming out from Michelin, and these guys are going to have temples up. And you don't want to get behind. Like, you don't want to have, 6 enemy candles in your provinces. Right now there's 1 or 2, that's fine. But I want to get my candles there, so we start. There's a death site here, so let's figure out what that is. But yeah, we want to go ahead and get that happening, and I think that's about it. Provinces wise, we're exploding, boys. This is a lot of provinces to have by turn 17, but we're not that rich. Part of it is because the unrest from being late age Rlyeh. Part of it is from the fact that the oceans are typically kind of poor. Like, this is a good province, this is a bad province, this is a bad province, this is an okay province. Like, these are not very high value provinces. And there's very few of like the, oh my god, provinces. Like, look at this. This whole thing is like 5,000 under, except for 1 province, which is 9. Whereas on land, you'll have like a 20,000 population province somewhere. Now that said, we do have this. This is like this jellyfish is so important. So important. So I think that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have enjoyed. Wish me luck in the throne battle. And may the tentacles of Rlyeh cover the world. See you all next time.